Hello everyone, welcome to the Ozark Outpost. This is Global War 85, Operation Nike, Soviet Global Command 9.3. Okay, let's get right to it. Start off with tech, and I forgot to lay the tech dice out. That's bad of me. PGM, computers, the elusive computers. I can't believe how everyone on that side who's rolling for it has just struggled with computers. And there's only 4 tech dice this time because the major army base for FEC is damaged and unusable for tech at the moment. So we have PGM, computers, advanced SLBMs, and SDI. And it looks to me like everybody has missed once again. Yep, still no joy on computers. Okay, military aid and purchase. All right, they're sending Warsaw Pact 2 airborne for 8, sending FEC an attack bomber for 11, and they're spending 28 on 2 MBTs, 2 SPAGs, and 2 fighters, 6 on an amphib, 3 on a frigate, and saving 1. Okay, combat. It's I better go in the order I wrote it down in so I don't forget. Okay, here in A26 in the Atlantic. Okay, one of these SSGNs is going to move over here to A19, where he will come off silent running and shoot 3 P700s into A26 with, they're going to have spy satellite on this. The other SSGN, feeling his oats, is moving into A26, coming off silent running, and he is going to engage in naval combat. It's an expansion, they don't get used a whole bunch, but these things actually attack at 7 in regular combat. And then the diesel boat in A31 is going to move 1-2 into A26, come off silent running, and also join the attack. They're going to try to do some damage to the American fleet there in the Atlantic. Okay, next, up north here, the North Cape, there's a NATO diesel boat in A8. The Bear Foxtrot from Murmansk is going 1-2 to attack him. Okay, then down here in the Med, we have a NATO fleet in M4. There's a Soviet fleet in M10. I'll just show them to you here side by side. There's what the Soviets have in M10. It's what NATO has in M4. So this fleet for the Soviets is going to transit Turkish Strait, go 1-2 they do have an attack value of 5. Okay. The whole thing's coming down to M4. This destroyer that's been hanging out over here at M9 is going to move 2 to also go over there and join the attack. All right, that's that one. Okay. Back up north here. The Soviets have decided they want Akershus, and they've decided they're going to take it. So, this amphib is going to load this Marine from Svealand, and he is going 1, 2 around here to A11, where this Marine is going to land in Akershus in an amphibious assault. Then there are 2 attack choppers that are coming over to join the attack. An ASF, 2 MBTs, 2 SPAGs. From this fleet here in A6, which is this card right here. These 2 cruisers are going to each shoot a cruise missile, and the Soviets have long-range missiles, so their cruise missiles get +1. So they're shooting 2 cruise missiles, 1, 2, into the attack on Akershus. Also, this naval ASF fighter and attack bomber are going to fly 1, 2 over here to join this attack. Yeah. And that's everything going into there. No, it ain't either. They've got the extras. They can afford it. Major airbase in Baltic States is going to shoot another cruise missile, 1, 2, 3, for a total of 3 cruise missiles being fired in there. And I almost forgot, the Tu-22M from Murmansk is going to fly 1, 2, 3 in here to carpet bomb. That's everything going into Akershus. Then over here in this area, oh, I forgot something up here in the Akershus attack. That's why we write things down. There are 2 battle cruisers here. These are going to move over to here, 1 space to M10, and they are each going to do a shore bombardment to support the amphibious assault. Okay, now we're done over there. All right, now over here, we have 2 SSNs here in I-11. They are both going to slide over here to I-7, come off silent running, and shoot 2 anti-ship missiles each into I-6. Did I already say somebody else was going to have spy satellite? I did. I said A26 was going to have spy satellite, but I'm going to take that back. Spy satellite support is going to be on this attack here. Okay, and then we are going to have a surgical strike against Macaw. No, wait a minute. No, we can't. Those guys aren't where I thought they were. I thought they were in Baghdad at the air base, but they're not. They're in Basra. And there's no air base in Basra, so they can't launch a surgical strike from there. So, cancel what I just said. No surgical strike. Is it worth the risk? I'm having since the surgical strike is a no-go, I'm having an alternate thought on the fly here. Actually, they could. Okay, we're going to change up here. Instead of the surgical strike, there's going to be regular combat in Macaw. What's going to happen here is these guys in northern Saudi, that's 3 MBTs right there, they are going to attack. Their attack is going to be supported by, this is regular combat, so we don't need an airbase. Their attack's going to be supported by 5 fighters and 2 attack bombers flying out of Basra. So those guys are going to come in here and join the attack. And then also, there are 2 attack choppers up here in Baghdad. And since there's an airbase there and they're an air unit, they get a +1 movement bonus. So 1, 2, 3. They are going to come down and also join this attack. And that's how that's going to play out. And also on the fly, the Americans, no, never mind, doesn't matter. Forget I started to say anything. Okay. So that's, oh wait, one more combat was written off to the side. There is a Soviet diesel boat over here in A36 that has just been sitting here on silent running the whole game. He finally sees an opportunity to make mischief. So he's coming off silent running and going 1, 2 for an auto kill on that tanker in A41. The Americans apparently also forgot about him sitting there. So that's that. Okay, so let's get going. To keep things straight, we're going to do our combats in the order they were stated. So A26 is going to be up first. So we're going to have so the Americans up there have 1 cruiser and 1 frigate that are going to provide AMD. So they get 1 shot each, and they miss. So 3 P700s come in hot, and they get 2 hits. 2 hits by the P700s. This is, I changed the spy sat, so this is not target select. And then we have the SSGN. It's going to be black, the diesel boat blue. Okay, there is a third hit by the SSGN, the diesel boat missed. So now, well, I don't believe there is any defense because the cruiser, well, I take that back, the carrier gets to defend at 1. But the cruiser and the frigate have already taken their first round shots in missile defense. So the carrier gets to defend at 1, and it misses. So the Americans have to take 3 casualties in this zone. And they're going to take the 3 hits on the supercarrier and kill it. The diesel boat and the SSGN are going to press their attack. Yeah, they're going to press their attack. So, same as before, SSGN's black, diesel boat is blue. And that time they both missed. This might hurt them. So we've got cruiser is red, frigate's orange. Yep, they both missed. They're going to try again. Same setup as before. Okay, there is 1 hit by the SSGN. Defenders get 1 hit in defense. So each side has to lose 1. The Americans are going to choose to lose the sea lifting spag. And the Soviets are going to lose the diesel boat. And that'll be it. The SSGN is going on silent running. He's pressed his luck enough, he thinks. Okay, that's the end of that one. Now we go A8, where the Bear Foxtrot is attacking the diesel boat. So here comes the Bear. That's a miss. The NATO diesel boat, of course, is going on silent running. There's that. Okay, next, the fleet battle in M4. That one I better put on the board. Okay, I got it set up here. The NATO fighters are on air superiority, and the Yaks are going to be as well. Let me check something. Good thing I double checked. The Yaks are out attack at 4, but they are going to be Well, I'm pretty sure they can be air superiority. Let me check that. Hmm. Okay, there it is. Make sure it says that. All right, yeah, I'm good. They read just like a fighter does, so I'm assuming they can. Okay, so there's no first strikes. So we're going to have 2 yaks in air superiority at a 4. Those both miss. Now we have a frigate at 2. Miss. 2 destroyers at 4. Both miss. Heavy aircraft cruiser at 5. Miss. Cruiser at 6. Okay, there is 1 hit finally for the Soviets. They better throw those dice away. Okay, so now we've got 2 NATO fighters air superiority. At 6, they both miss. Carrier defending at 1, misses. Frigate at 2, misses. Destroyer at 4, there's a hit. And a cruiser at 6. There's 2 hits. 2 hits in defense, the attacker only got 1. So, NATO is going to take a 2nd damage on the fleet or supercarrier. That clears that off. The Soviets have to take 2 hits. Okay. Might leave them in a bad spot. They're going to go for it anyway. The Soviets are going to take 1 hit on the heavy aircraft cruiser. And the 2nd hit, they're going to kill their frigate. That clears that one off. And they're going to press the attack. So the yaks go to the 4 box. The fighters here go to the 6 box. And let's go again. We have 2 destroyers and 2 yaks at 4. Okay, there are 2 hits. Target select for the destroyers doesn't matter because it's sub-target select. So there's 2 hits there. Heavy aircraft cruiser at a 5, misses. Cruiser at a 6, misses. Okay, so NATO carrier at 1, there's a miss. Frigate, miss. Destroyer, there is a hit from the destroyer. And then we've got a cruiser, and 2 fighters are red. And there are 3 more hits, or 2 more hits, for a total of 3. The Soviets are not coming out too good in this. Okay. Well, NATO is going to take the third hit on the supercarrier, and they're going to take a hit on their frigate. So that clears that off. The Soviets up here. The Soviets are going to kill a yak because they're damaged and down one air op anyway. The other two hits, they'll have to take on two destroyers. That's cleared off. Now it's 3 against 4. That's probably not too good. They're going to try it anyway. They're going to try and take that NATO fleet out. So we have one yak at 4. Misses. Heavy aircraft cruiser at 5. Misses. Cruiser at 6. Okay, there's one hit. For NATO, we got a destroyer at 4. And cruiser and 2 fighters at 6. And there's one hit. One hit apiece. So NATO is going to kill the destroyer. Soviets are going to kill the yak. They're going to try it again. They're going to go again. Heavy aircraft cruiser at 5. There is a hit. One hit. Cruiser at 6. There is a target select hit. That's a surface. Get the right color here. That's a surface target select. Okay, now we have just like we've been doing, cruiser and 2 fighters. And there's 2 hits in return. Okay, so the hit, well, there's the surface target select has to target select the cruiser. Yeah, that target select has to be taken on the cruiser. And then the general hit on a fighter. So those are cleared off. And then 2 hits by the defender. Well, that's going to take the Soviets out. That kills their heavy aircraft cruiser and takes out their cruiser. Their ASW chopper was in the retirement box, so it is also gone. The Soviets are out of units. NATO had 1 surviving fighter who will have to land at the Naval Air Station there in West Libya. Okay, that's the end of that one. Next, we have the fight in Akershus. So I'm going to put that one on the board. Okay, we're all set up here. Got the shore bombardments up here at 2. Those are first strike. Got the 3 cruise missiles at 5. Those are first strike. And then NATO has decided their SAM is going to shoot air defense. And then, of course, the SPAG will be air defense as well. Okay, so 2 shore bombardments from the battle cruisers at 2. There is 1 first strike hit. Okay, now we have 3 cruise missiles at 5. There is 1 hit for 2 first strike hits. Now we've got, let's see, they've got 1, 2, yeah, there's enough. So there's, everybody's rolling 2, so it doesn't matter. So you got the SAM gets 3 shots and the SPAG gets 2 shots. 5 total. Since they're all shooting air defense. Everything missed. Okay. Well, they got to take 2 first strike hits, so they're going to kill the SAM and the SPAG, obviously. That clears that off. Okay, now the Soviets have an ASF at 5. It's a miss. They've got 2 SPAGs at 2. Yeah, because there's just 1 air unit for NATO. So 2 SPAGs at 2. There is 1 hit. Now the Tu-22M carpet bombs, 3 dice at 2. Everything missed. There is a Marine and 2 MBTs at 3. Since Akershus is mountains, the MBTs are knocked down from before. And usually an amphibiously assaulting Marine with close air support would be a 4, but he's also knocked back to 3 because of the mountains. And the MBTs are yellow in case they get a target select. Which one of them did. 2 hits and 1 is a target select by an MBT. So there's 1 general hit. That don't belong up there. That goes up there. No, wait. Never mind. That's in the right place. 1 general hit and 1 land target select. Okay, so now we have 2 attack choppers at 6. They both miss. Okay, NATO defends. Fighter at 6. That is an air superiority hit. Make that 2. Okay, paramilitary at 2. That is a general hit. Surprisingly enough. And then there's 2 infantry at 4 for another general hit, and a mech at 5. He missed. Okay, so land target select. The Soviets are going to select the mech, obviously. That clears that off. Now NATO has to take a general hit, which will be the paramilitary. That clears that off. Okay, 2 air superiority hits. they are going to kill one of the attack choppers in the ASF. That clears that off. And now they have to take 2 general hits, which are going to be their 2 spags. That clears that off. So there's now a fighter, goes over here to his box, and 2 infantry still defending. He's done. Those are done. Those are done. So there's 2 MBTs, a Marine, and an attack chopper still attacking. So 2 MBTs and a Marine. There is 1 hit. That's a land target select. NATO couldn't take it on the fighter if they wanted to. And then the attack chopper misses. So 2 infantry defend, miss. Fighter at 6 gets a hit. So that should have been up there, but in the wrong place. Okay, so NATO loses an infantry. That takes that off. And then 1 hit in defense. They are going to kill the Marine. All right. 2 MBTs attack. They both miss. Attack chopper misses. Infantry defends. Miss. Fighter defends. Miss. Okay. 2 MBTs. Miss. Attack chopper. Miss. Infantry. Miss. Fighter. Hit. Okay, 1 hit on the defender. They're killing an MBT. Press the attack. Okay, so, sorry about that. There's the attack chopper. There's the MBT. Attack chopper's black. Okay, so there is 1 hit. Now you got fighters red, infantry's purple defending. Okay, there is 1 hit in return. Boy, this is coming right down to it, 1 each. Well, the attack chopper can't capture the zone. He could combat land if another land unit captured it, but he can't capture it on his own. So they're going to try. They're going to kill the attack chopper and keep the MBT, and NATO's going to lose the infantry and keep the fighter. So now we're going to have an MBT versus a fighter. Okay, the fighter won. The Soviets fell just short. That was a knockdown dragout. Put that NATO fighter back where he was. And real quick, I have to put the battle cruisers and the backfire back over there. Okay, next. I-6. Okay, we got 4 anti-ship missiles, being fired against this fleet right here. So we are going to have, because we have a cruiser and we have an ASF on the carrier, that's going to count for 2 missile defense shots. And they both, no, 1 was shot down. So 3 anti-ship missiles are coming in with full target select. And they only get 1 hit. So, who are they going to choose? They're going to be bold. They're going to try to take out the cruiser. So the cruiser gets to have a phalanx defense, 6 or less. And he missed with a 12. So the American cruiser is gone, and with him goes fleet missile defense. All right, and then finally we have the land battle here for Macau. And that one, obviously, I'm going to put on the board. Okay, we're all set up on the boards here.
Hey, if those rolls get done, pull them out, please.
So here we go. There's no first strikes by anybody. So we've got 5 fighters in air superiority at 6. Look at that. 4 hits. Now there's only 3 air superiority hits possible because that's the only targets. But extra air superiority hits are taken as general hits. So all 5 of those hits do count. Okay, now we got 3 MBTs at 3 because of desert. There is a 3rd general hit. 2 attack choppers at 6. There is 1 hit that is a land target select hit. And then 2 attack bombers at 7. And there is 1 more general hit to make 4. Okay, now the Americans have 3 fighters in air superiority defense. And they get 1 hit in return. Okay, paramilitary at 2. Miss. Light infantry at 4. Miss. 2 mechs at 5. 2 hits. 2 general hits. Okay, so the land target select, of course, the Soviets are going to choose a mech. Take that off. 3 air superiority hits kills 3 American fighters. Take that off. And then 4 general hits. There's only 3 units left, so the Americans are wiped out. 1 air superiority hit in defense. The Soviets are actually going to take that on an attack chopper. Take that off. That clears that. And then 2 general hits they will take on they hate to do it. They're going to take them on 2 fighters. That clears all that off. Okay, those Americans are dead. So the zone is captured by 3 MBTs and an attack chopper. Get everything put back over here real quick. Okay, there is Soviet-controlled Macau. Okay, so that means the Americans go down 1 to 53, Soviets go up 1 to 46, and the Soviets get to mark another strategic objective for holding Macau. All right, that is the end of combat, non-combat. Okay. Yeah. The strategic bomber and the ASF in Bulgaria are going to fly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over here to Baghdad. There they go. Next, everybody that's in Basra, which is the SRBM, 2 MBTs, 2 SPAGs, and a SAM, are moving down here to northern Saudi Arabia. Put him on the card. Of course, you know the paramilitaries can't move outside home country. The 2 MBTs and the 2 SPAGs in Baghdad are going 1, 2 into northern Saudi Arabia. So they're on the appropriate card. Okay, now we have next-gen MBT and 2 rocket artillery in Marmara that are going to use strategic land movement to go 1, 2, 3 over here to Mosul. And then I have to come up here and land some air. This Tu-22M is flying back to Murmansk. The planes from the fleet carrier and A6 have flown back to the carrier. And that's that there. The SRBM in northern Germany is going to move up to Benelux. The SAM in western Ukraine, he is going to he's going to use strategic land movement to go 1 to the Baltic states. And that's it for non-combat. Make sure, yeah, that's it for non-combat. Okay, so now we place units. So let's see here. We'll go down this way because this is where most of it is going. Actually, I'm just going to make things a little bit easier. We got a card sitting down here we're not using anymore, so now we're going to use that card for Baghdad. So if you recall, we bought 2 MBTs, 2 Spags, and 2 fighters. Those are all going into Baghdad at the appropriate bases. So I'll move the strategic bomber and the ASF. And the paramilitaries, why not? All over to the appropriate card. Then we come up north, where the amphibious assault ship and the frigate are built at Murmansk. Now deliver military aid. The attack bomber is delivered to Novosibirsk. The 2 airborne are going to be delivered to the major air base here at Hungary. There's that. Okay, collect money. Soviets are at 46. Plus 3 is 6. Let's see. No, wait a minute. That's plus 4 on the first one because they get 1 for Tehran, 1 for Baghdad, 1 for Makkah, and 1 for Svealand. So that's plus 4 there. And they get another 3 for computers. That makes 7. And they get another 4 for Shiraz, makes 11. On to 46. Just going to put them at 57. Boy, for a bunch of commies, the Soviets are pretty rich. 57. Okay, now missiles. We shot 3 P700s. 1, 2, 3. We built 3 P700s, so that doesn't change. The SH-22s. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 major air bases. So add 7 to that stack. Regular cruise missiles, shot 3, built 7, so that is a net gain of 4. Anti-ship missiles. Shot 0. Built 3. There we go. Ozark Outpost. Over and out.